Hey guys, what is going on this fine Saturday evening? Hopefully, you all are staying warm out there wherever you might be. Hopefully, you guys are getting through the snow okay and not having any major issues and enjoying some Saturday football. I'm obviously watching the game right now with the Ravens and the Texans. So Ravens are right now winning 17-10. So anyways, watching that and hanging out with some cards and getting some things done. So tonight what we're going to do is go over through these 73s that I found in this box of cards right here. So really good finds in this. Really excited to go over these cards with you because there's a lot of them and we'll cover them tonight and some really good cards out of this box. So without further ado, let's go to the desk and go through these 1973 Topps cards. Hey guys, welcome back. So before I get into these cards and the 1973 cards, I did want to let you guys know of a few things that are coming up here on the channel. I know we've been talking a lot about vintage cards lately and going through a lot of vintage card auction stuff. So I'm going to change that up slightly going into next week. Monday night, normally I do a Mystery Pack Monday, but this week what we're going to do instead of doing a Mystery Pack Monday is talk about sports card investing on a budget and sports card strategy. How to go about the best way to navigate sports card buying and investing and still having fun with the hobby, but doing it on a limited budget. I'm not a guy that has a tremendous amount of money to dump into sports cards, so I have to be careful about where I spend my money, how I invest it, how I buy cards, in order to make it both fun and profitable for me. And I thought I would share some of that strategy with you guys. So, really looking forward to that video on Monday. And I think we'll probably do another video on Thursday along the same lines of sports card investing and sports card strategy. And we'll do a couple of videos like that in the next few weeks to come. So it's a way for me to get different type of content out there to you guys. Also making it fun and hopefully being informative at the same time. So if you guys have any type of strategies yourself that you guys employ when it comes to buying sports cards in today's climate, whether that's on the vintage side or current cards, please let me know, and I'd be glad to. We can make it kind of an open discussion thing and make it kind of fun. So if you guys have any feedback on that, that would be great as well. Also coming up on the show next Saturday, we have the Minnesota Sports Card Show, which will be attending. I talked to the organizers of that show and made sure they were cool with me doing a video and recording well at the sports card show, and they were cool with it. So I'm going to do a video at that sports card show next week, and looking forward to doing that. Also on the channel, what I'm going to do prior to the Series 1 release on the 15th of February is I'm going to go through my top 10, maybe top 15 sports card sets or baseball card sets or releases of 2023. So we'll look at each release and I will rank them from 15 or 10. I don't know whichever one. I haven't decided yet whether I do the top 15 or the top 10. So I'll rank them based on different types of criteria, and I'll share that criteria when we go over those videos. And I'll be doing one set or one release per night over the course of 10 to 15 different nights. And leading into that release of Series 1 on the 15th. So the last one, or the number one, what I feel is the number one release of 2023, we'll talk about on the 14th of February, which is actually Valentine's Day, so maybe it might be the 13th, I'm not exactly sure. We'll get more into that. It just is something I've thought about doing, and I think it would be really fun videos to do, and rank each particular set that came out in 2023 that I personally collected. Now, in that set, for example, is it going to be like Tier 1 or Inception? Because I didn't buy any of those cards this past year, so I'm not going to include that in my ranking, even though those sets were high-end sets that are really good. Bowman Draft, for example. I would love to go out and buy jumbo boxes of Bowman Draft, but not at $550 a box. Couldn't quite do that. So that set isn't going to be in my ranking, even though if I would have collected it, would have got a box, it probably would have been, easily would have been, because it's a great set of cards. but I didn't buy any of it, so that's not going to be included in my ranking. It's only sets that I invested in, or releases that I invested in 2023. So if you guys have any ideas about that, I would be curious to hear what you guys have to say. So that is kind of gives you a sneak peek into what's coming up. Again, Monday night we'll do a sports card strategy or a sports card investing video, and hopefully that'll be informative and fun and good information for you guys as far as different types of strategies that I use. And hopefully you guys can use that in your own lives and in your own sports card investing and in the hobby. So without further ado, let's get into these 73s. I'm going to run through these because there's a lot of cards. Let's talk about grades that I have for each one. There's lots of them, like four. I've got multiple doubles when it comes to cards, and these are only going to be generally Hall of Fame or star cards, singles that will be coming up for auction in a couple of weeks. So, for example, here, Don Sutton, I've got 4 cards of his. 3 of them I've got graded at 3.5, basically because these cards have some serious paint issues or ink issues that are going on at the top of the card. So that's why I have this one. This one looks like it's got some cloud issues. This card I have at a 4, even though it's off-centered. And this is going to be a common theme when we go through this video, is that there's going to be a lot of miscut cards. It seemed to be an issue with 73. So as you can see on the top of this card, you got some sort of San Francisco Giants pitcher on the card, so you can see how badly miscut it is. So that's why I have this one at a 4. There's no creases on it, but you can see the difference in the clouds. This one's got some pink clouds on it, or red clouds, and this one doesn't have any type of, this one right here doesn't have any type of cloud related issues. So I don't know what the deal is with these pink clouds in the background. This one obviously does have some serious pink ink on them in those clouds. This one not as bad as the other two, but I have these 3 at 3.5 and the other one at a 4, even though it is a miscut card, but it doesn't have any creases on it. So that is the deal with those Don Suttons. The Clemente card, I'm not going to describe. You guys can obviously see on the Clemente the reason why the issue is with this one at a 5, this one at excellent 5, because the centering on left to right and the corners are in really nice shape, and overall it's a really nice card other than the top to bottom issue when it comes to the centering of the card top to bottom. Really nice Roberto Clemente other than that, so that's why I have it at excellent 5. Tony Oliva, there's 2 of those cards, 2 Tony O cards. This one right here is going to be at a 4, and this one right here is at a 5. The reason why I have this one at a 4 is that there is a issue right here in the upper left-hand corner. There's a little ink issue here on the bottom, and also you can see some coloring issues. You can see the vibrancy of this card is quite a bit different than this card. You can see it's almost night and day, literally night and day. This one's a lot more vibrant on the sky and in the background than what this card is. So that's why this one's at a 5, this one's at a 4. Yeah, it's quite contrasting. The Raleigh Fingers, there is 3 Raleigh Finger cards. One I've got a 4, one I've got a 5, and one I've got a 5.5. This one right here is at the 4. Obviously you can see why, the centering issue. This one right here is, this one right here is at a 5, and the other one I've got at 5.5. This one seems to be a little bit miscut, just seems, especially on the bottom. So that's why I've got this one at a 5. The back is in good condition. It is just more or less a cut issue. And this one right here I've got at a 5.5. A little bit better at the centering issue, and also the cut of the card. There's no fraying of the edges and whatnot, so that one's at a 5.5. Ted Simmons. Let me adjust my light here so I can see. Ted Simmons, there's 3 Ted Simmons cards. One is at a 3, which is going to be this one here. You can see the crease in the upper left-hand corner, so that's why I have this one at a 3. This one is at a 4. There's just a top to bottom issue there, and this one is at a 5, excellent 5. Pretty nice card, really nice corners, really nice centering on the card for a 73. Left to right, probably 85-15, top to bottom, probably 70-30. But other than that, it is a really nice Ted Simmons card for his second year card in 73. Next up is Brooks Robinson. I've got this one at excellent 5. Pretty nice centering on the card. It is a little bit off on the bottom. You can see the top is a lot bigger than the bottom, so I'd probably say 90-10 on top to bottom. But other than that, it is really a nice card. The back is in really good shape, so I've got this one at an excellent 5 for the Brooks Robinson. We've got 2 Hank Aaron cards. One of them, obviously, this one is at a 4, very good, excellent 4. No creases on the card, but again, just a centering issue. There is a slight wrinkle up here on the upper part of the card. Other than that, it's in really good shape. This one right here is an excellent 5. Again, just a centering issue right to left, but the corners are in really nice shape. Really nice Aaron card. Really nice card. The back is in good condition as well, so I've got this one at excellent 5. I might actually have to bump that up to a 6 possibly. It does have the slight ink mark right here, but other than that, it is a really nice Aaron card. So probably going to have to bump that up a little bit. We've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 Pete Rose cards. A lot of Pete Rose. So I've got 3 of them at 4. Is going to be these 3 are at 4. Again, you can see the reason why. This one's got some fraying on the left-hand side. Otherwise, it's just a cut issue. This one's got no left side. This one's got nothing on the top. This one's got fraying and also nothing on the top. But none of them are creased. So that's why I've got those 4 at a 4. This one, excuse me, this one I do have at a 5. It does show a little bit on the left-hand side. But the corners are in really nice shape, so that's why I put this one at a 5 on the Pete Rose card. Tell me what you think on this one, whether or not you think it's a 5 or not, but that is what I have it at. Lou Piniella. We've got 2 cards of his. One is at a 4, which is going to be this one. It is at a 4. It does have a ding in the upper left-hand corner here, and the centering is a little bit off top to bottom. This one's going to be at a 5. Excellent 5. It was a much better card than the other one. Back is in decent shape, so that's why this one is at a 5. Thurman Munson. I've got 2 Thurman Munson cards, and both are pretty much the same. This one's obviously worse, so I've got this one at a 4, and this one at a 5. This one both doesn't have any top or doesn't have any right side. This one at least has a right side, and no creases. So that's why I put this one at a 5 and this one at a 4, even though this one is still missing the top. You don't see as much as the miscut on the bottom. On this one, you can see it pretty pronounced. This one's got a little bit of black on the bottom. So that's why this one's at a 5. Don't know if it is really a 5, but yeah. Next up, we got Bobby Bonds. I've got 3 Bobby Bonds cards. All going to be roughly the same. These 2 are going to be, I've got these 2 at a 4. You can see why, how badly miscut they are. This one I've at least got at a 5. There is slight miscut on the top, but other than that, it is in pretty decent shape. So that is the Bobby Bonds card. Next up, we got Jim Palmer. Jim Palmer I've got at a 4. Again, just a centering issue on the top on the Jim Palmer. Harmon Killebrew, pretty much the same kind of story, just a little bit on top. You can see a little bit of white, but other than that, there's some fraying here on the left-hand side. So that is why I have this card also at a 4. Again, like I say, if you guys have watched my other preview videos, ouch, my wrist is really bothering me. Anyways, if you watch my other preview videos, I always say that if there's no creases on the card, it is always going to start out at 4. No matter if there's centering issues or corner issues, just as long as there's no creases, it's going to start out as a 4. So even though some of these are pretty badly miscut, like this one, I'm still going to start it out at a 4, and that's probably the lowest grade that it's going to get. This Gossage rookie card, pretty dang sweet card. I was pretty excited to see the condition of this card, even though it is a little bit off-center, left to right and top to bottom, but again, for 73, excellent card, really nice color, and it is a really nice rookie card of Rich Gossage. So I've got this one at excellent to near mint 6, really high grade, because it is in such a nice shape. There's no fraying on the sides, the corners, there's no dings on the corners. Pretty sweet card. So I've got that one at a 6. Might actually be a 7. And the next card I got up is Frank Robinson. I've got this one at very good to excellent 4. Obviously, you can see the reason why. Just because the centering on left to right, it is really a badly centered card all the way around. Pretty terrible. I don't know what the heck. Pretty bad quality control back in 1973, unfortunately. But you can see half a big part of the next card here. It is kind of cockeyed a little bit. Pretty rough shape. So that is that card. All right. The next set I will get to here in a minute. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you here in 1 second. For Jenkins, I've got excellent endearment 6, even though it is slightly off center top to bottom. I think the corners pretty much make up for it, and the centering left to right is pretty good as well. So I felt that this was a really nice Fergie Jenkins card, so that's why I have it placed at a 6. Jerry Koosman. I didn't know if I should include Jerry in the star cards or put him in the semi star cards. But anyways, these are 2 Jerry Koosman cards. You can see this one is going to be at a 4 and this one's at a 6. This card is in much better shape than what this card is, just because of the cut issue. Even though this one I think is a little bit better color. This one right here has a little bit better color. So, but I've got this one at 6 just because the centering issue is really, really nice. And yeah, really nice card on the Jerry Koosman. Bob Gibson, I've got one at 5, which is going to be this one, again for the centering issue. This one I've got at a 6, and it's a really nice Bob Gibson card. Corners are in really good shape. The centering is actually really nice. The back is in good condition as well, so that's why I have this one at a 6. Carlton Fisk on the Gold Cup card. One of them, this one I've got at a 4, and this one I've got at a 5, just because the centering issue, again, left to right. This one's got a pretty major centering issue, as you can see. So that is why I've got this one at a 4 and this one at a 5 on the Gold Cup cards. Bert Blyleven. Got this one at excellent 5. A little bit undergraded, I think, actually. I like this Bert Blyleven a lot. The centering is actually pretty good, left to right and also top to bottom. Corners are in really nice shape. You can see a slight sting here on the bottom right. But other than that, the card's in really nice condition. Steve Garvey. Steve Garvey I've got at a very good to excellent 4. There is some gum stain or wax stain here on the front, so I'll have to take care of that with the dryer sheet. But the centering top to bottom is obviously off. Kind of a goofy Steve Garvey card, because you can barely see him. This is when he's coming in to score a run, it looks like. Probably in like Cincinnati. Because of the artificial turf, but you can barely see him. I think that might be actually Dave Parker, right there. I'm not exactly sure, but you can barely see Steve Garvey past him. So that's why it's kind of a goofy card. But I've got that one at a 4, and I'll fix up that wax stain. I've got 2 Nolan Ryan cards, which is pretty exciting. This one I've got at a 4, very good, excellent 4. This one I've got at excellent 5. You can see the centering is much better on this one than it is on this one. I wish I had the left to right on this one and the top to bottom on this one. And kind of combine the 2 cards, but 2 really nice Nolan Ryan cards. This one, color-wise, is a little bit better than what this one's going to be, but this one doesn't have the centering issue that the other one does. So that's why I've got this one at a 5 and this one at a 4. Alrighty, moving on. We got Joe Morgan. We got a couple of Joe Morgan cards here. Joe Morgan, I've got one at a 3, which is this one. You can see a pretty major crease on the bottom, right there. Kind of shine the light off of it really quick, so that's why I've got this one at a 3. And this one I've got at a 4 for a few different issues. One is there's a slight print stain up here. But it is primarily due to the centering issue top to bottom on the Joe Morgan card. Carl Yastrzemski, yes, I've got this one at excellent 5. Again, just because of the centering issue top to bottom. Left to right isn't too bad. No stains on the back, so that's why I've got this one at a 5 for that one. Reggie Jackson. I've got this one at a 5 as well, even though it was badly miscut top to bottom. Pretty much every Reggie Jackson I've seen from 73 has got the same issue as far as the centering issue top to bottom. The left to right is pretty good. There is some fraying here on this side, but other than that, it is a really nice Reggie Jackson card, and I've got that one at a 5 on the Reggie Jackson. Tim McCarver. We've got 2 Tim McCarver cards. This one I've got poor. You can see all the creases that are on it, so I've got that one marked as poor. This one I've got marked at excellent 5. Has a slight print stain, print issue up here in the top. Other than that, the centering is fairly decent, probably 90-10 left to right, but top to bottom is pretty nice, and the back is in good condition. So that's what's up with the Tim McCarver in excellent shape 5. Lou Brock. Let's get these cards all kind of stacked up better than what I have them at now. There we go. Don't want them falling all over the desk here. Lou Brock, I've got an excellent and near mint 6. Again, the centering is pretty nice on this card. It is a really nice Lou Brock card. Corners are in really nice shape. There's a slight off on the coloring, and this one looks more faded than some others I've seen on eBay. But you can see the back of the card, but I thought it was a pretty nice Lou Brock card. Next up is Rod Carew. Very good 3. And I think the reason why is, it has a pretty major rip right here on the side. I shouldn't say major, it does have a minor rip on the side. So I've got this one a very good 3 for the Rodney Carew card. William McCovey, very good 3. Again, it is, the only reason why I did is you can see the speckling on the front of the card there. So that's why I did mark this down to a 3. Not too bad of a card, but it is only a 3. Alright, Norm Cash, we've got a couple of his. And one I've got at a 4 and one I got at a 5. Again, you can see this card is, just a second here. Okay, next up is the Norm Cash card. One I've got at a very good to excellent 4, which is this one, largely because of the centering issue here on the left-hand side. Other than that, it's in pretty nice shape. And this card I've got at a 5. A very good to excellent, or excellent 5. Centering is pretty good. There is a slight ding out in the upper right-hand corner, but other than that, the card is in really nice shape. So that's why I've got this one at a 5. And last but not least is the Evans rookie. I've got one at a 5, which is going to be this one, and I've got one at a 4. And the reason why this one's at a very good to excellent 4 is just because of the centering here on the right side. A little bit rough, and you can see it is not evenly cut from right to left. So that is why I have this one at a 4. This one is at a 5. Excellent 5. A little bit better on the centering, a little bit better on the color. The corners are in really nice shape. So that's why I have this one in excellent condition 5. So anyways, guys, that is what I got for you guys this evening. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video and enjoyed seeing these old cards. There was a lot of them to go through. I know it was a lot of information. Quite a few duplicates, so I don't know exactly how I'm going to sell them. If I sell them all together, because that's quite a lot on one auction. I might have to split these up over a couple nights. List, a couple of Don Sutton's one night and a couple of the other two the next night. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to do the auction. I'll let you guys know do that, or what it's going to be once we go back through these cards and look at the pricing for each card. So anyways, guys, that is what I got for you guys tonight. I don't think I'm going to be making a video other than the video short of the NBA hoops. Should I not get a Wemby tonight, I'm going to have to make one tomorrow, a new video tomorrow, opening a pack of NBA hoops, because we're committed to keep opening packs until we finally actually get one of him, even though it's starting to turn into quite the large investment on a set that I don't really care about it all. So anyways, again, Monday night we'll be here with an investment strategy, sports card investment strategy video. Really looking forward to that, and hopefully you guys are too. So please come back Monday night and check that one out. And again, we'll probably do one of those again on Thursday, leading into the Minnesota Sports Card Show next weekend. So that's what's coming up on the channel, guys. Thanks for joining me tonight, and I hope you guys have a great evening, and we will talk to you later on.